I'm just doing a check on this 200 TDI before we box it all up. I'm starting to put all the doors together and everything's just about done now. There's only a few little jobs. But there was two jobs that was electrical. Diff lock light wasn't coming on. Well, that was just a bad connection on the bullet connector that goes on top of the chassis. That was easy enough. But we've got a problem with the heated rear window. It's not coming on. The heated rear window in a 200 TDI is a law unto itself. I don't know why they did it like this, but I think they were thinking about not being able to switch the heated rear window on if the battery was getting low. It's kind of a good idea really, but obviously they did away with that in later models. I've got the diagram here. I'm going to blow it up and print it out for you here. And now you can understand what I'm talking about. It's very simple. If you can see inside the car, I've taken off the cover and there we are pointing at, that's the socket for the switch. The switch is very simple. It's got a power coming in from your ignition switch, a white wire, and then that goes, where does it go to next? It goes to the coil on the relay, but the other side goes through the bulb and to ground. Now that means that when you switch your light on, or switch your heater on, the light should come on anyway. Well, it's not coming on. Okay, so that's one thing. But looking at the book again, when we look at the relay, that white wire powers at one side of the coil on the relay to trigger and pull it down. So when you switch it on, you should hear it click. If you can't hear it click, it could be a ground. Now this is where the 200 TDI circuit gets particularly interesting. There is what's called a voltage sensitive switch on it. And the voltage sensitive switch cuts off the ground if it senses the battery voltage is too low. So that's the safety circuit. The rest of it's a doddle. It's got power coming from your battery through the contacts, through a 10 amp fuse and to the back window. Couldn't be simpler really. So first of all, what we're going to check? Well, we're going to check the switch with a continuity test. We're going to test the switch down here, and the switch, when I can find it, the switch is here, look. It's got 3 contacts on, but only 2 of them are used. So we're going to test the switch, make sure it works. We're going to test if we've got any power to that white connector. If we've got power to that white connector, when we put the switch on, we should see a little light come on the dash. If we don't see that, it could be just a bulb gone, or there's no power. So let's have a check and see what it is. Well, this is a mystery. There's a white and green wire goes from the switch up to the light and then to the relay, but there's no continuity between the switch and the light. So it can't get any power. So I've checked the relay. The relay works. I've substituted it for a known working one. In fact, I've tested them both. They work fine. Now that's a mystery. I'm going to have to try and pull that voltage sensitive switch out and see where that goes to. I've got power from the switch up until the relay. So that should be okay. This is the voltage sensitive switch. 3 contacts, 3,000 components. I don't know. I really don't know why it's losing power to the light. And I can't hear the relay clicking on, so that must mean that this isn't working. Now, does it need the engine on? Let's try that. Don't always trust the books. I've noticed in this diagram here, there's an error. The white and green wire here that is supposed to go to the warning light, this side, actually is piggybacked into the brown and white wire here. So the warning light will only come on when the backlight's on. Now, it seems to me that there's a problem with this voltage sensitive switch, when I can spit it out. I'm thinking about just doing it like a 300 TDI. Keep the relay in, keep the fuses, keep everything in, but put a direct ground on and do away with that. That's all it needs. I think I'll try that because, quite frankly, a heated windscreen in a Land Rover is a waste of time anyway. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to just put a Scotch lock on and a ground, and if it works, that's the answer. I've put one of my famous jumpers on. I didn't use a Scotch lock, I used one of my little jumper crocodile clips. I'll try and stand back. Now I'm going to put it to ground. See the lights coming on? Can you hear the relay clicking? So the voltage sensitive switch is either stuffed or its conditions aren't right for it. So I'm going to just ground it. End of story. Finish. And then we'll test it at the back and make sure it's working at the back. Quite easy, eh? Instead of cutting and splicing wires, which I don't like doing, I took out the wire completely out of the socket for the relay and I made a new connector to go on the wire. Now notice these are a little bit different. They've got a little bit of a barb on the end, so they push into the socket, and then we've got a ring on the end which we can put to ground. So that's going to stay in there permanently. We don't have to worry about wiring anymore. Job done, and hopefully it works. So let's put this in and see if we've got any power to the back. Heated window, now working. Simple as that, eh? Stupid little bloody electronic circuit that's going to cost you a fortune. Just bypass it. That's as simple as all you have to do is ground it. So anyway, I hope we pick some bones out of that. I'll probably try and do a redesigned circuit diagram at the end of this video, and then you can see what to do. Alright, talk to you later, bye.